Hey everybody, it's Luke over at Galaxy Tech Review, and today I've got a 4K enabled action camera from Iconntechs. This will do 4K at 24 frames per second. It also does, of course, 1080p at 60 frames per second and 1080p at 30 frames per second. This guy is going to kind of go head-to-head with some of the other action cameras, like the more expensive and well-known models like the GoPro and stuff like that. This guy has a Wi-Fi module that's built into it as well. Of course, has that 4K Ultra HD recording. You can pick this guy up on Amazon for $89 at the time of this video, and I'll have a link in the description below where you guys can check this out. Later on in the video, I'll show you a video sample of this camera as well. Going over some of the highlights, you've got time-lapse photography. You've got a 6-glass multi-layer filter with a Sony sensor. You have the Wi-Fi module that's built in, allow you to view in real time what the camera is seeing on your iOS or Android smartphone or device. It's waterproof up to 30 meters. It has an adjustable angle from 70 degrees to 170 degrees, so that gives you a wide variety of angles that you can shoot with. Loop recording, night shooting, and a diving mode built in here. I'll leave these up at the back so you can kind of check out some of the other specs. Again, it's waterproof with that waterproof casing that they give you, diving mode, unique voice prompts that'll let you know when your battery's running low, 4K at 24 frames per second, 1080p at 60 frames per second, HD video recording. You've got that industrial full 6-glass lens. You do have your angles. You have a 70 degree, 110 degree, 140 degree, and 170 degree, so that you can adjust depending on what you're shooting. Loop recording, P2P Wi-Fi, H.264 compression mode, time-lapse photography as well. So you can either do high speed or slow motion, depending on what you want. That's all built right into the camera. So this has a ton of features in it for a great price. I'm going to get this guy out of the box here, and then what we'll do is we'll go through and we'll take a quick look at the accessories that they give you in the box. But you guys are really going to want to check out the camera. They give you a ton of accessories in these two boxes here. These two boxes on the end have a ton of accessories. Now, all of these accessories will be interchangeable with a GoPro. So if you already have a GoPro model and you're looking for a secondary camera, you just don't want to pay the GoPro price. As you can see, you're going to have a ton of these accessories that will all work with the GoPro. So they're going to be interchangeable. Like this one's going to be a tripod mount that you can actually mount this guy with double-sided tape here. It's got another one. This would be good for a dash cam. If you wanted to do that, you could. And you've got a ton of these accessories. And I'm not going to go over all of them. There's a belt clip one in here as well. I'm just going to kind of fly through these and we can go over the accessories. If you have any questions about the accessories, I will answer them in the comments section below. The camera itself, some literature here. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this either, but again, it goes through all the stuff that we've already gone through. You do have an HDMI, mini HDMI output for this, so you can output it to your TV. Your microphone is there. Obviously, you have a micro USB input for charging, and then you've got your speaker hole here, so you're going to have full speaker on this. It has a 2-inch screen on it, and we'll get into that in just a second. Again, all of your accessories, I'll leave this up if you want to freeze frame that. You can check those out as well. And then it shows you about how to turning on the camera, putting in the memory card. Now this will support they say up to 32 gigabytes, and then select models of 64 and 128 gigabyte cards. I have a 32 gigabyte card in here, and it worked perfectly. Again, your video resolution's 4K 24 frames per second, 2K at 30 frames per second, or 1080p at 60 frames per second, 720 all the way down to VGA at 240 frames per second. The default resolution is going to be that 1080p, and your picture resolution will be 4032 by 3024. It's going to use that MP4 video format and JPEG for images. It does have a 5x digital zoom on it. You can change that adjustable wide angle fisheye lens to anywhere from 170 degrees to 70 degrees. You've got a 12 megapixel Sony sensor in this, and for your image sensor, your 2-inch LCD screen here, and image sizes go all the way from 20 megapixels all the way down to VGA, 3 megapixel VGA 640 by 480s. So you've got a lot in here. Battery life was rated up to 80 minutes at 1080p recording. It is a removable battery. It's 1050 milliamps, and the size of this guy is 61 by 42.4 by 25 millimeters, and it weighs 58 grams. Again, hold on to this. Slot from a micro SD card up to 32 gig and selected 64 gig and 128 gig cards. I tested it with a 32 gig. It worked perfectly. I did not test it with any other 64 megabyte cards or above. You get a cleaning cloth in the box as well. You get some cable ties, a metal wire clip that you want to use, all your Velcro straps to be able to put this in pretty much any configuration that you would want to. More clips in here, as well as your charge cable, which is a standard USB to micro USB charge cable, and you've got a ton of clip-ins that you can use. This is kind of just to hold it in a tripod if you want to. You've got a protective back cover that's not waterproof. You've got a bike mount. You've got all kinds of stuff in here, and I'm not going to waste too much time on all of those. So let's get into the camera. I'll get this out of the way. Wanted to show you guys that real quick. And the camera comes in a waterproof case. Real easy to get this guy undone here. All you have to do is pull this clasp back and then pull this guy up. So you're just going to do that, pop it up, and you can pop the camera out. So you've got that. So if you're going to do any underwater shots, you can do that as well. Camera, nice and small, 4K Ultra D logo on the front, power button here, which I'll fire up real quick for you guys as well. You're going to have a power indicator, and you're also going to have a that will turn another indicator that will turn red when you're running low on battery power or recording. Now here is the main interface. I don't have a card in here now. You'll navigate it through these buttons here. If you hold this button up, it will take you to the Wi-Fi setup as well. And then if we go in and hit the power button, it will go from a video to taking still pictures. And as you can see, it's set at 20 megapixels. And then it will take us into playback mode. And then, of course, finally, you can cycle through your resolutions here. And again, get back to that. Sorry about that, guys. If we go into our resolutions, again, you have UHD P24, UHD P30. You've got your full HD at 30 or 60, and then it's your full HD at 30. So you've got all of that there. It's got a wide variety. You can go all the way down to HD, or I'm sorry, QVGA at 30 frames per second. So it's got a ton of different resolutions you can do. I myself really enjoyed the full HD at 60 frames per second, so I'm going to leave mine there. You can enable a loop recording, your gyroscope. You can leave that on for steady shots. You can do motion detection, time-lapse recording audio or not, your date stamp, whether it's on there, your angle, and this is where you can go in and adjust your angle from 70 to 110 to 140 to 170 to get that really wide angle in there. I did some test video at 1080p at 60 frames per second on 70 degree, so you guys will see that. You've got diving mode, night scene, self-timer, which you can set, all the way up to 10 seconds. Then you will have image size. This is where you'll go in, and 20 megapixel, 16, 12, 10, all the way down to VGA. So they give you another wide variety of those to go through. You've got your date stamp, whether you want it on there or not. Sharpness, you can do quality, you can do burst. If we go into sharpness, high, normal, medium, I just leave it on high. You've got your ISO, your exposure values. You can change all of those as well. Your white balance. You can change pretty much everything on here. So if I want to go in my ISO, I can leave it on auto. I can change it, 100, 200, or 400 at the quick here. So they've got that. Your exposure value, the same thing. So you've got all of these things that you can do. You can turn on and off your anti-shaking. You can delete files, protect files, and you can go to your Wi-Fi settings. And then also auto power on and off, your voice prompts, your beep sounds. This guy just keeps going on and on and on. It literally has everything. Now, languages, you can set it up. It's got a ton of different languages you can use, as you can see here. So that is really cool. I like the screen too. The screen is a bit reflective, but it's not bad. Your TV mode, NTSC or PAL, whether you want to output it to TV or not, whether it can have a screensaver. You can format your card. You can change the frequency from 50 to 60 hertz. You can reset everything to default settings, and of course your version as well. So a ton of different things that you can get out of this. Right now you're looking at it at and we'll put the case up here just so you can kind of see. You're looking at this at 1080p, 60 frames per second. Now, if we click on this again, it'll go to that section where we can just do shots here. And of course, I can't save one because I don't have my SD card in there. But right now, it's I changed it over to 3 megapixel. It goes all the way up to 20 megapixel and does a pretty decent job at shots with that Sony sensor. I like the build quality on this guy. It's super light. On the side, you're going to see your micro SD card, your mini HDMI, and your USB for recharging here as well. You've got a speaker here. You've got your select mode up here. You also have your Wi-Fi. If you hold this up, it'll take you into a Wi-Fi setup here. So very, very nice overall. All your GoPro accessories will work with this. This guy did some really great video. I'm going to play that for you now, and then you guys can check that out. We'll get this guy out of the way, and then we'll come back and finish up the review. So I will be right back. This is just a test. Give you guys an idea of some video.
Low power.
There's some cars moving and a little bit of the audio. I don't know how well the audio is going to be. I am carrying this. It isn't on a mount, so hopefully the anti-shake is on. So we'll try that and just give you guys a little idea. Now the angles on this can go anywhere from 170 degree all the way down to, I think it's 80 degree. So this is at 110 degree angle, and it's full HD at 60 frames per second. So there you go. Okay, so that was a little bit of video there in 1080p at 60 frames per second. This camera is very impressive. It has a ton of features built into it for a great price point. If you're looking for an alternative and you don't want to pay for the price a premium for a GoPro, this guy even has some stuff that the GoPros do not have. So this guy worked out really well. I like the quality on this. I'm going to be using this as a personal device for me, and I think they did a great job. And this is Iconntechs 4K UHD action camera. You can check it out again on Amazon for the price of $89 at the time of this video, and again, that link will be below. This was Luke from Galaxy Tech Review. If you guys have any questions or comments about this guy, leave them in the comment section below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll check you guys out on the next video.